get a good brush. Good boy. Hi everyone, welcome to the channel. Zarina here, aka Woolly Nomad, and today I have in front of me the beginnings of a sample for the winter Starflower mitt. And I've been on a mitt kick really recently, so I thought let's make another one. And this one I'm making with my Get Your Fluff On yarn, which I got last year, was it, or the year before, and I had some left over. I made a cowl and I had some left over, so I thought let's make some mitts with it because it's really soft. And I've knitted up a little sample here, and I cast on 10 stitches, and I'm using 4.5mm needles. But what I like to do is I like to cast on and see what the fabric's going to be like once it's knitted up. So I'm planning, of course, on doing a little motif, so therefore I've added in a little bit of the silvery colour just to give me an idea of how much it's going to pull in. So I've prepared my pattern and I'm ready to knit up the motif now, and really just a little sample of it, so I'm not going to knit the whole thing. But what I like to do is I like to at least knit some of a motif or some of a pattern to see how it sits and hangs, and like I said, how much it pulls in, because the plain knit will be slightly different to the colourwork knitting. And I've just knit this small area of the motif to give myself an idea of what it's going to look like and what it's going to feel like. And if it's too tight, then I might go up a needle size. And I mean, I've got a 4.5, I might go up to a 5mm. But I think it's okay, actually. And so I'm at my garage waiting for my car to be done. And I thought, let's do a little bit of knitting here. I've actually cast on for the mitt now, and I'm knitting in the round with the circular needles, and I'm using the 4.5mm needles. Yeah, and I'm really enjoying the knit, actually. So I completed the mitten, and I sorry, I didn't really record anything else for this particular mitten, but I will be recording for the other mitt. So this is the right hand mitt, and of course the left hand mitt is knit slightly differently, just so that the motif sits on your sort of the outside of your wrist. So it's seasonal fun. We are in December and Christmas is around the corner. I'm here knitting on my mitt. So I took a break from my shopping and I thought let's sit down and do some knitting, and I am quite enjoying knitting with this yarn. This was the Hobbycraft Get Your Fluff On yarn, and they have got something equivalent this year as well, and I can't remember what it's called, but it's something like similar, like Get Your Fluff On or something. And while I was out and about shopping, I noticed this design in one of the windows, and it literally, yeah. So Bubbles and I are in the garden enjoying the cold weather. I thought I'd show you my progress, and I've managed to finish off the motif, and I'm now on the thumb gusset. So I've made quite a good bit of progress here, actually. Instead of a stitch marker, I've used my ring, which is quite handy because you can just put it back on your finger when you're finished. So that's quite a nice idea. Yeah, and I'm quite liking how the motif sits with this yarn as well, and I think Bobbles likes it too. So I've finished the thumb gusset, and I've got to put the thumb in, But first of all, I'm going to knit up the rest of the palm area and the finger area of the mitten. And yeah, I'm just trying it on, seeing how it fits, and I think it's fitting quite nicely. And I've just got a little ways to go now. I'm going to do about 30 rows of the palm area, but you know, I think it's quite a lot, and you might not want to do that much. I mean, the other mitt did turn out a bit long, I think. It's very roomy and cozy and warm, so I kind of like it, but you know, I'm not sure what Bubbles thinks. Yeah, so I'm still knitting on that palm area, and like I said, I'm going to carry on and knit the 30 rows. So I'm back in town again and just carrying on with that palm area while I'm doing a few errands. And yeah, I think I will very soon be decreasing, which is quite nice. And that palm area is quite long, so yeah, you might want to shorten it a bit, but you do have the option. I'm now decreasing, and I think there's 4 rows of decreases before I'm going to Kitchener stitch that off, and that'll be that for the palm area. There's lots of jumpers and things about Action. I noticed this design, which is interesting, and you know, trees and things are up. Although I think the city centre isn't as festive as it usually is, and maybe it's because of the storm. Yeah, I finished the palm, and I've sewed it up, I've Kitchener stitched it, and now I've got to do the thumb. And I just want to point out that the thumb area, what I've done is, in this pattern, you have to pick up 2 stitches from the palm edge here. So you pick up an adjacent stitch and you pick up another stitch from that edge, which you will then knit together. And that kind of reduces any holes, if you get what I mean. You don't have to do that sort of thing, but I felt it worked really well. So you see the middle bit there, where you've started the palm area without the thumb, that's where you pick up the 2 extra stitches. So it's 4 stitches altogether. And we have finished our mitts, and back in the countryside where the wool originally came from. Although this is a mix of wool and acrylic and other things, but thank you, sheep. We now have a nice pair of mitts to warm us, so we, whatever. Signing off.
He was previously married. I didn't know that. His first wife.